Hey you guys, it's Gabriel, calling from Eurovision, and there is no Joe or Leo with me today, but the summer break of Eurovision has almost finished and the 1st of September is when Eurovision season starts. But we've got one more bit of news to discuss before it, a bit of comparing between the two possible host cities, Basel or Geneva. Shall we talk about it? Let's do this! Okay, so as most of you know, the Eurovision host city will be decided on the 30th of July, and I've got two cities we have got down to. We originally had four main bidders. They were Basel, BL, Geneva or Zurich, and they've narrowed it down to Geneva and Basel. And we have two of those options, and we're going to discuss what is the better option. I'm on Eurovision World's website. We're going to read a bit about both, and then we're going to decide who we think deserves to be the host city. So let's start off with Basel. I've got my laptop here, and we are going to learn a bit about Basel and the arena, and then we'll do Geneva. All right. Basel is located on the banks of the River Rhine in the border triangle close to both France and Germany. Its strategic location has historically made it a hub for commerce and trade. Basel's status as a cultural business and tourist hub ensures a wide range of accommodation options. The city has a population of around 200,000 people, making it the third largest city in Switzerland after Zurich and Geneva. So we can see straight away from that first bit that Geneva is a more populated city than Basel. Whether that will make a difference, I don't know. Basel has an efficient public transportation system, including trams and buses that connect various parts of the city and surrounding regions. The city's proximity to the Basel-Mulhouse-Freiburg airport, located just outside the city and serving Switzerland, France and Germany, facilitates international travel. So, off learning a bit about Basel, we can see that it's near France and Germany, which could play quite a big part in, deciding this. If, travel might be a bit, people might want to stay in France and Germany, because Switzerland, put it this way, is going to be very, very expensive. Like Malmö, when we were in Malmö last year, lots of people stayed in Denmark near the border, but probably a bit cheaper, and good transportation to get into Malmö. Alright, now let's look at the St. Jakobsschal Arena, which is where Basel wants to host the Eurovision Song Contest 2025. Basel will be represented in the race with St. Jakobsschal serving as the venue and Jogeli as a public viewing area. The multi-purpose indoor arena is known for hosting a variety of events, including sports competitions, concerts, TV shows and other large gatherings. St. Jakobsschal has a flexible seating arrangement, allowing it to accommodate different types of events. The capacity can vary, but it can host up to 12,400 spectators for concerts. The arena is home to the Swiss Indoors Basel, an annual tennis tournament that attracts top players from around the world and hosts other sporting events such as basketball, handball and volleyball. It is a popular concert venue attracting international music stars and bands. Artists like Madonna, Queen and Rihanna have performed there before. So, that is about Basel. And Basel looks like a nice city. Some pictures will now appear on your screen of Basel. It looks nice. I know we have to see what the arena will be like. They've obviously, when they bid, they're going to tell the EBU about, and whoever decides, about what's going to make it better than Geneva, because at the end of the day, you're just competing against Geneva. I believe Geneva have hosted the Eurovision before, so Basel, will be a new place that we would host it. Wouldn't be a bad thing. But yeah, that is a bit about Basel and the St. Jakobsschal Arena. Alright, we're back and we have just learned about Basel. Now let's learn a bit about the Geneva city. The city where the EBU, the European Broadcast Union, resides is a prominent global city located on the shores of Lake Geneva in the southwestern part of Switzerland, very close to the French border. So this is very close to the French border, and the city has a population of around 200,000 people, making it the second largest city in Switzerland after Zurich. Zurich wasn't an option the EBU considered. Geneva has an efficient public transportation system that includes trams, buses and boats. The city also promotes cycling and walking as eco-friendly mode of transportation. Geneva International Airport is well connected to major cities worldwide and is just a short distance from the city centre. The city's central location in Europe makes it a key railway hub with connections to cities across Switzerland and neighbouring countries. Geneva is a central hub for international diplomacy and hosts numerous international organisations, including the European headquarters of the United Nations, the World Health Organization, International Red Cross, World Trade Organization, and International Labour Organization. So quite a big, important city. They want to hold it in the Palexpo Exhibition Centre. Palexpo boasts 7 interconnected halls offering flexible and versatile spaces that can be adapted to various event requirements. The total exhibition area exceeds 106,000 square metres, making it one of the largest exhibition centres in Europe. Nearly 32,000 square metres capable of accommodating nearly 15,000 spectators can be made available for Eurovision 2025. All of Palexpo's 3 convention centres can accommodate more than 2,000 journalists. Various trade shows, conferences, sporting events and cultural exhibitions take place at Palexpo throughout the year and will host the final weekend of the 2028 European Men's Handball Championship. So, that is a bit about Geneva, but the one thing Eurovision World have not included, I don't believe, is that the EBU headquarters are based in Geneva. So looking at what we've got so far, Geneva looks like a bit of a better city, easier city to get round. But I'm thinking with protests that happened last year in Malmö, Geneva, they might not want to do it because the EBU headquarters are there in case any chaos happens. The Palexpo Arena also looks like a great arena with 15,000 spectators they could have with 2,000 journalists, whilst the Jakobshaw can have 12,400 spectators, not including the journalists, so maybe that's around 10,000. So the 2 cities will be scored on the set of criteria, most importantly the venue, which should accommodate at least 10,000 spectators and be available for 6 to 8 weeks of preparations. The city should also have hotel accommodation for thousands of delegates, journalists and spectators. A press centre for 1,500 journalists at or close to their main venue is also mandatory. So, after the quick break, we're going to come back and discuss who should be the host city. Hello and welcome back to the Ninovision, where we will currently now compare the 2 cities of Basel and Geneva. We're going to start off with transportation, which is key in cities. Both have got very good transportation systems. Geneva looks much easier with trams, and they want walking and cycling around, and it'd be a good place for even the Eurovision village. Now, Geneva, in my opinion, all round looks like the better city to hold it in. A bigger arena, a larger city than Basel, but it's already hosted before, and Basel does not have Eurovision's headquarters. That is in Geneva. Now, there are a few advantages and disadvantages with having the headquarters in Geneva. Obviously, as I mentioned, the disadvantages, protests could be a bit of a threat and warning, while Basel would be nowhere near Geneva to go to there. But the positives is the EBU can easily access, the Palexpo Arena in Geneva. So the thing is with this is 2023, Malmö would not have been my chosen arena. I would have probably chosen Stockholm. In the UK, I would have chosen Liverpool. In the Netherlands, I would have chosen Amsterdam. But because we haven't, Switzerland is one of those places that I don't really mind where it's held. Basel or Geneva does not bother me too much. I'll be happy wherever it is. If I had to decide what I think is better, I'd say Geneva. I personally think the EBU would choose Basel. But, we have to see. But I think Geneva has a bigger arena, which I think is going to help. But then again, you never know. Geneva's an all-round better city to host Eurovision in. But I think the EBU would choose Basel because it's a bit different. That's what I think. What do you think? We'll be back the whole of September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April and May, all over the national finals. Me, Leo and Joe, we want to make the best content possible. So if you don't mind subscribing for us down below, that would be exceptional. Eurovision season is going to come kicking round and we are going to do as much content as we possibly can. We're so looking forward to enjoying this season with you. Let me know what you think down below in the comments and I'll see you next time for our next video in a few weeks.